Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. Today we're switching it up and we're doing a collab. So I'll let him introduce himself now.
I'm the new YouTube friend. Hi, I'm Patchrick.
And he actually came up with the video idea today, so I get no credit in this. He gets full credit, and we are going to be talking about witches, and how they correlate with clairvoyance and blindness. So
that was a great explanation of all of that. You just tied every aspect in so perfectly.
I feel like I did it so much better last time because we recorded this once before, but
I think it was the hands. It was the
witch hands. They were giving me like, yeah.
Giving you power.
Yeah, I think I was trying to tone it down. So yeah, we're just gonna sit here and do this the whole time, just to help me speak.
No toning down. No.
Witch energy. Okay, so do you want to start out with some of your picks?
Of course, I would love to. Speaking of witches, representing, I'm wearing my Hogwarts gear. And I tried doing like time thing, but I can't find where my time turner went. It's probably packed with boxes because we're moving again.
You mentioned your shirt. I'm wearing a Titanic shirt, so my shirt has nothing to do with this video.
I'm sure the Titanics wish they had a clairvoyant with them. Alright, so I have 5 witches on my list. And I have 1 from history, 1 from mythology, and 3, it's the weirdest freaking way I could have done 3, and 3 that are from TV. Alright, so the first witch that I looked up was Baba Vanga, and she is technically a mystic, a little bit different than a witch. But yeah, she is a psychic mystic. She's made a bunch of predictions that have come true. She actually predicted the coronavirus, interestingly enough. Yeah, and I think that like most people who will recognize her name know that, because that was like a huge story a couple months ago. It was like, oh my goodness, this clairvoyant mystic, like she predicted corona, because she's Russian, and corona is the word for like their government's like police force.
Interesting.
She said that in 2020 corona will be over all of us, and so people used to think that like that meant the Russian government was going to take over, and yeah, and no, it was the coronavirus.
Holy crap. That's insane.
In that same prediction though, like, just wanted to touch on this, in that same prediction she predicted our president's demise. Yes, she predicted that the 45th president of the United States would be very ill-equipped for the illness that would take over the world, and that he would contract it this year. And there have been like a ton of speculation that Trump's already gotten it.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me, wiping my eye like a heathen.
I've had allergies, sorry interrupting, but I've had allergies, so I'm just like...
It's all the fires, man! On a more positive note, she predicted that in 2028, mankind will fly to Venus to search for new sources of energy.
That's interesting because, like, you know, the symptoms, even if he has gotten it, the symptoms are not for sure, so like he could have underlying symptoms of it still, so at any point it could just like pop up.
By the way, Bellatrix wanted to be a part of this because she keeps clawing me!
She made it!
She made it into the video. Ooh, more witchy stuff, my black cat, ooh.
She's like, this is my video.
So, that was, that's my first one. That's the one from history that I could actually find that had like backing behind it. My next one from mythology is, this one is, a lot of people won't know that they know this one, but it's the Gria witches from Greek mythology.
Nice.
So you know the technically they were supposed to be like the Morai in Hercules.
Hercules.
Yeah, so the Morai in Hercules were the ones that like all swapped around that all-seeing eye and yada yada, and they're all gross and disgusting. Yeah, the Morai in Greek mythology are not supposed to look like that. They're supposed to be like an old crone, like a young-ish woman, middle-aged woman, and a beautiful young maiden. So, yeah. But who is supposed to look disgusting are the Gria witches, which I'm probably mispronouncing that. Come at me in the comments.
It's okay. Comments after this. Actually, it's
But yes, these witches, they not only can see the future with the eye that they pass around, they also, disgustingly enough, have one freaking tooth. Just one.
That one hurt. Like, when I found that out.
Right? Right?
The eye is one story, but the tooth is just...
I don't know why, but like passing around an eye seems more... It seems more natural?
You right?
Because it's like with the eye you can see the future, you know what's coming, yada yada. With a tooth, like I'm just gonna eat baby food. Like I don't need a tooth if I have to share it with people.
Like just one tooth. We're all out here looking like Tommy Pickles.
Alright, so before we go into my TV show witches, let's go into some of your witches.
Yes! Okay, so I will start out with the Idaho... Wait, yeah, they're Idaho women. I almost said witches, but they're called Idaho women. And they are in the Japanese culture. And they are said to possess powers to speak to spirits in Japan because they are blind. So if you were born blind in Japan during the 1800s, because I couldn't find an exact time frame for these women, but if you were born blind around the 1800s, you were most likely to be sent to a practicing ground to partake in like rituals and preparation to become an Idaho woman who talked to spirits and would give people readings. So a lot of these practices consisted of being thrown into ice baths for long periods of time, which you mentioned was like a practice
Nightmare
now.
fuel.
Yeah. So yeah, these women were like just kind of thrown into this because we discussed that it was probably because, you know, they weren't seen as people who could work at that time period. So even if they didn't believe that they had this spiritual power, they would just be like, oh yeah, sure, so they can make money.
They're just out there scamming people.
Which, like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, you know.
We're just gonna go along with this. Or they found actual spirituality with it, so that's really cool.
Which, great, like, you know, if you're able to actually talk to spirits and see the future and stuff, then awesome. If you just gotta pretend to get a living, then great.
You do
I'm
you, boo.
sensing someone in the audience has someone in their family that recently passed away. Their name starts with an A. B. C. D. E. F. G. L. M. N. O. P. P! I said it first. Also, I'm gonna say that I tried looking up the Idaho witches, like, as you were talking about it. First thing that popped up for my, my very American computer was the Idaho women. Idaho women for Biden and Harris. Idaho women for Biden. Idaho Falls women held captive. What?
I know, I'm like, I probably butchered that name too. It's probably not even pronounced like that. There was 3 different names for Idaho women, but anytime you look it up, that's like the first name, what people know them as. So. But the Japanese scholars, all I could find on like the history of that, because I was like, why do people like put blindness with clairvoyance powers or like witchcraft, you know? And all I could find was the Japanese scholars believed blindness gave you powers to talk to the spirits. That's like the only explanation. And I'm like, but why? Like, I want to know why.
I think the theory behind that is that, like, if you aren't... So interestingly enough, Noelle McDavid and I are going to do another collab about, like, chakra balancing. And there is your third eye chakra and your crown chakra that connects you to, like, insight and divinity. And so I think the thinking behind that, especially if it's in, like, Far Eastern culture, is that, like, if you don't have a connection visually to the physical world, then it makes it harder for you to see illusion, like the illusion of time, of age, of yada yada, and it creates less of an attachment with this world, like with this plane of existence. So you're able to understand the ethereal plane a little bit better. Just a theory.
Okay, no, I like that because, yeah, like the more blind I went, like just a personal thing, I don't really know what people look like. So if I've never, because I can see through pictures, so like sometimes I look at a picture of someone and I'm like, oh my god, that's what they look like? Like I have no idea sometimes. And so like face to face.
I love that you told me that I looked beautiful right before we started this then.
Everyone is beautiful to me, okay?
Everyone's the same level of beautiful to you.
I've noticed, like, me personally, if I meet someone and they are just nice and genuine, I see them as, like, this beautiful, like, being. And then, like, if they're mean or rude, I see them as this, like, witchy, like, moles on their face and stuff. Like, I do that, like, I guess just in my brain, it just automatically does that. And then I'll see them and I'm like, oh crap, that's what they look like? Like...
Way off. This nice person, they're ass ugly.
But then, like, the next time I'm with stop. The next time I'm with them, though, you know, I see them as, like, the same, usually. So it's because my brain just kind of connects it.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool.
Just keep digging this hole, girl.
What? No, I'm saying it's mostly, like... celebrities, you know, like I'll hear them on TV or something and they kind of say something stupid or like rude, and so I get this image in my head and then I'll see pictures of them and I'm like, I guess they're pretty.
Okay, wait, I have a question then. Okay, so when a celebrity is rude and you're hearing them for the first time, do you picture them as white or black?
Completely white. Completely. 100%. Kim Kardashian level.
Kim Kardashian is not white.
Yes, she is.
What are you talking about? No, she's not.
She, like, spray tans herself darker. We're talking about witches. We just get in on this Kim Kardashian.
We go to Kim Kardashian instantly. Okay, cool.
Have you seen where there's like this thing where they're saying like her family is witches or like full of witches?
What? Legit?
No, there's somebody, I'm pretty sure someone just started this rumor and they're like, yeah, like her ancestor made a deal with the devil that if their grandchildren and children and like so on has these powers to be rich and famous.
Oh my god, I just looked this up. Yeah, there's a Kardashian curse. We gotta do another one of these, girl. We gotta do a conspiracy theory video about the Kardashian
Oh my god,
witches.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm down for that. Okay, we'll move on to TV witches, and I'll do my one that I have. And after all of this, so Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was one of my favorite shows growing up, has a new version on Netflix that is like a spooky version. That's the way I'm going to describe it. And there is a blind clairvoyant on the show that is Sabrina's friend, and her name is Roz, and it turns out her family has this history of being blind because of a witch's curse. Yeah. So we're gonna add that little fact in there.
But it doesn't just stop there. It's not just that a witch screwed them over and was like, y'all can't see, sorry. Continue with the more.
Wait, what's the more?
The more is that they can see things without their vision.
I thought I said that.
You're just like, she has this friend that can't see. Oh well.
My bad. I totally thought I said clairvoyant. But yeah, their family has like this clairvoyant power of being able to see what's actually going to happen. So is it really that bad to be blind if you have these cool powers?
I mean, is it really that bad to be blind, period? Like,
Yeah.
granted, when I'm older, I hope I'm blind. I've seen enough.
That's how I feel. That is how I feel. Like, that is one of the perks of being blind. I'm just like, sometimes when I'm in public, I don't have to see people. Their family is cursed with blindness, but also they have powers to see things. And Ross, a lot of times, will call Sabrina and be like, yo, this is gonna go down. So then the witches have the upper hand now.
You know, they don't just have the upper hand because, you know, they're witches.
Well, yeah, that too.
It's this one blind girl that gives them the upper hand, yeah. Just self-promoting there.
She helps. But yes, I highly recommend that show because it is really good.
So, I have 3 witches from TV. Woo. I'm gonna save the one that we probably will go off with for freaking last because editing purposes. But so my first one is, you watch AHS, right? Because you're a person?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Remember Cordelia gets, like, acid blind?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yep. And when she goes blind, she suddenly has better divination skills and is able to tell that she's married to a cheating skis ball.
Blindness gives you vision. LOL.
Yes, even if you don't want to see them.
She's like, I'm gonna be selfish and use my powers for me for a second, so just wait.
Well, and then she regains her vision back, not even through totally moral means. Like, because the eye scoop? Remember that? That was disgusting. No, she just sandbags them. And is like, oh, I want my visions back, so I'm gonna re-blind myself. And she does it in the stupidest way possible. She just stabs herself. Like, sorry, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen that. But you've had, like, literally 7 years to catch up on it, so... Really, at this point, it's your fault.
We blame you, actually. Yeah, that entire season is just so good. And that's why it's a lot of people's favorites. And who doesn't love witches?
It is. Yeah, no, like, Coven and Freak Show are... Oh, you can see Draco hopping up behind me.
Hey, Draco.
Yeah, no, Coven and Freak Show are a lot of people's, like, favorite ones. Alright, so, my next one is the Blind Witch from Once Upon a Time, which I actually just watched this episode last night, so it's fresh in my mind. So this witch is pretty much Once Upon a Time did an episode explaining how the evil queen got her magic apple. And she got it from the witch from Hansel and Gretel. And Hansel and Gretel, like in this Once Upon a Time version, totally plagiarized Pan's Labyrinth. Because there's a creature in Pan's Labyrinth that is blind, but eats children, and, like, lures them, and I think he's aware when, like, a child is in his vicinity because he has, like, this beautiful, delicious spread of food, and if a child eats it, then he's like, oh, kid's here, time for dinner. So yeah, and obviously the witch from Hansel and Gretel, she has an entire freaking house that's a spread. So
Hansel and Gretel is like one of the creepiest stories. But yeah, let's continue.
Right?
In your childhood, we're just gonna tell you about this story about a witch that eats children. Woo!
It really plays up the whole don't take candy from strangers thing.
Cannibalism, like what?
You'll get eaten. That's just it. You want that lollipop that badly, you need to really consider it.
We're teaching bad lessons.
We're not the ones teaching them. We're just reporting on them.
True. We ain't got children.
Alright, and so the last witch, the last psychic witch that we will talk about, everyone get ready for this because it's not one that you're expecting. The last psychic witch on my list is... I saw that. Is Raven Baxter. Dun dun dun!
Yeah.
So a lot of people right now are going to be like, Raven wasn't a witch, she was just a psychic. No, you're wrong, and I have proof.
I'm excited for this.
Okay, so in like season 2, there was a Halloween episode that they had called Don't Have a Cow. And that episode is where like Raven's grandma, who we know is also psychic, pretty much like loans her a bunch of her occult things, including like a cauldron and a book of spells and potions and yada yada. So Raven and Chelsea mix up this little wishing potion and end up getting invited to Alana's Halloween party. They want to have the best costume, and spoiler alert, they get turned into cows. Raven Baxter, we all know, psychic, but her and her grandmother were witches.
And possibly her mom.
And possibly her mom, because yeah, the whole...
We won't go into that rant.
Oh my god. We won't go into that right now, but we can have an entire other video about, like, poking holes in That's So Raven.
We're going to do a video that's, like, Tanya's own show. We need Tanya.
Disney, just reboot her.
Yeah.
Like, have her have, like, left Victor, she went and did, like, her legal thing. It'd be perfect. Have her be the next RBG.
Disney Plus, okay? Just, like, Disney Plus is for our age, so... I never really thought about that episode being like she was potentially a witch or like her family.
I did. All the time I was like, wait, if she has magic, why isn't she using this more? Like, she had a vision showing that she could use magic.
And then there's a lot of times people show like magical powers and then like they don't use it because there's always like a catch.
Yeah, there's consequences, there's a price for magic.
Yeah, so that like episode kind of showed that Raven may have been like scared to use magic just because of that.
Oh, maybe. But it wasn't even the price of magic that like got her. It was just her own stupidity, or technically Chelsea's stupidity.
She's like, I can't be doing magic around these people.
Yeah, just I can't cast a spell when Chelsea's around. Aside from that, I'm good. Eddie, you want to come over?
Raven was pretty what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like clumsy. She kind of messed up quite a bit. So maybe she's like, we're gonna wait.
See, but even that kind of changed like throughout the seasons. Like, oh, my memory card is full.
Dang it. Dang it, memory. Thank you guys for watching this chaotic video. Go follow Patchrick for more fun, and we are going to do a collab on his channel about disabled superheroes. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, head on over to his channel and subscribe to Patchrick. Yeah. Stay witchy, stay wonderful, stay blind, stay clairvoyant, and stay weird.